What if the child you thought was innocent turns out to be the perfect liar? In today's psychological thriller, we dive into the chilling mind of a little girl who hides pure evil behind a sweet smile. Welcome to The Bad Seed 2018, where innocence is a mask and darkness has a child's face. The movie begins with a disturbing scene. A young girl named Emma is seen calmly watching a cat drown in a pond from her window. What's shocking is her expression, or rather, the lack of it. She shows no emotion, no fear, no sadness, not even the slightest urge to save the poor animal. We then learn that Emma lives with her father. While having breakfast with him, her aunt comes over to discuss a new babysitter for Emma. Emma's previous babysitter had recently met with a mysterious accident. No one really knows how it happened. That's why her aunt has arranged for a new caretaker. As they talk, Emma casually mentions the dead cat. At the same time, her father is shown pulling the lifeless body of the cat out of the pond. But Emma, she doesn't react. Not a trace of regret on her face. Had she tried to save the cat, it might still be alive. But it doesn't seem to bother her at all. Later, her father interviews the new babysitter and is impressed by her behavior. He decides to hire her. Emma, meanwhile, has applied for a prestigious citizenship award at school, a prize given to the most well-behaved, kind-hearted student. Emma wants that award desperately. At school, she behaves like the perfect student. Polite, sweet, friendly. She plays with other children, trying to maintain a good impression. During recess, one of the girls accidentally bumps into Emma. Emma helps her up and smiles politely. But we later see her at home, practicing different smiles in the mirror, trying to perfect her nice girl act. It's clear she's putting on a performance. The next day is the award ceremony. Her father dresses her up nicely and takes her to school. Parents and teachers gather for the event. But then comes the twist. The citizenship award is announced, and it doesn't go to Emma. It goes to a boy named Milo. Emma is furious inside but keeps up the act. She tells her father that Milo didn't deserve the award and even insults the boy, then quickly apologizes, trying to cover her real feelings. Later, Emma invites Milo to go to the cliffside near the school with her. Time passes, and the screen goes black. Soon after, we see Milo's parents frantically looking for her. They approach Emma and ask, "Have you seen our son Milo?" Emma calmly says she hasn't seen her in a while. Just then, some girls come running from the direction of the cliffs, screaming for help. Everyone rushes over and finds Milo's lifeless body in the water. CPR is performed, but it's too late. Milo is dead. The next morning at breakfast, Emma's father gently asks her, "How are you feeling about what happened to your friend?" Emma gives no answer. She completely ignores the question. No sadness, no grief, as if nothing happened at all. That same evening, Emma's babysitter arrives at the house. Later that night, Emma notices something strange. The babysitter is snooping around her father's medicine cabinet. Emma immediately suspects that she's trying to steal his medication. While watching a movie together, Emma confronts her babysitter and says, "I saw you looking at my dad's medicine. Were you trying to steal it?" And then, with a disturbingly calm tone, she adds, "From now on, you'll do whatever I say. If you don't, I'll tell my dad everything." The babysitter is visibly angry and shaken by Emma's threat, but ultimately, she agrees, afraid of the consequences. The next day is Milo's funeral. Everyone is grieving and heartbroken. Emma, too, is seen crying, in front of Milo's parents. But it's clear she's pretending. Her tears are just an act. Later, Emma's father speaks with Milo's parents, and they mention that Milo's medal has gone missing. This alarms Emma's dad. That night, while doing laundry, Emma's father enters her room to collect clothes. And there it is, Milo's missing medal lying among her things. Now he's starting to get suspicious. Looking deeper, he finds some of Emma's photos, all showing Emma staring obsessively at Milo for weeks. That's when the horrifying possibility hits him. Could my daughter be involved in Milo's death? The very next day, Emma's teacher arrives at their home, And this time, she's accompanied by a police officer. She speaks privately to Emma's father and reveals something even more disturbing. A few students said they saw Emma with Milo, near the cliff, the night before his death. That night, Emma's father gently asks her, "Emma, were you at the cliff with Milo?" Without a hint of hesitation, Emma replies, "No, I wasn't." But then he tells her, "Some people said they saw you there." And in that moment, the perfect image of a sweet little girl begins to unravel. Emma gets really angry and lashes out asking, "Did Mistress Jealous tell you that? She never liked me anyway." The next day, we see the same babysitter visiting Emma's father at his workplace. She asks him if she can have a drink of Siddadoc, a type of alcohol, to which Emma's father firmly replies, "You can't smoke here. There are too many hazardous chemical liquids around." Later, the babysitter takes Emma out to play. While they're outside, they notice a familiar car, Miss Ellis's car, parked nearby. The babysitter then tells Emma that a case has been filed against her. She says that when Milo died, people believe Emma was also on the cliff with him. The babysitter takes Emma back inside and tries to scare her into telling the truth. She warns, "If you were involved in Milo's death, you could end up in the electric chair." Emma gets frightened but still doesn't admit to doing anything wrong. The next day, we see the babysitter searching around the house, looking for Emma. Meanwhile, we cut to Emma's teacher driving home. As she's driving, she gets distracted by a strange object, a vest, lying on the road. Suddenly, we see something shocking in the back seat of her car. A clue planted by none other than Emma herself. Yes, Emma had planned this too, hoping her teacher would meet the same fate as Milo. In another twist, the babysitter finds Milo's medal, something that only he had. Realizing this could expose Emma, she hangs it on the lamp in Emma's father's room to alert him. Later, when Emma enters the room and sees the medal, she quickly hides it behind her back. But her father notices her strange behavior. Gently, he sits her down and asks lovingly, "Sweetheart, where did you get this medal from?" Emma makes up a story on her own. She tells everyone that Milo gave her that medal voluntarily. The next day, while Emma's father is on his way to work, he decides to call a therapist. He's seriously considering getting professional help for Emma. He knows something isn't right and wants a psychiatrist to evaluate her behavior. But while he's driving, he comes across the scene of a tragic accident. Meanwhile, Emma is at home, questioning her babysitter. She asks, "Did you put the medal on the lamp?" Her tone is sharp, she's clearly angry. Right then, her father arrives and asks Emma to come with him. He tells her to bring the medal, the one she claims Milo gave her. They go to Milo's house, and Emma returns the medal to Milo's mother. But Milo's mother looks confused, almost disturbed, while accepting the medal. Something clearly feels off. And then she drops a shocking piece of news. Mrs. Ellis has died in a car accident. Emma hears this and immediately bursts into tears. She puts on a dramatic act, saying that Mrs. Ellis was her favorite teacher. But the moment they leave the house and get in the car, Emma's entire mood changes. As if nothing had happened, she cheerfully tells her father that she wants to bake cookies with the babysitter once they're home. Her father is completely stunned. He can't believe how quickly she moved on from the death of someone she just claimed to care about so deeply. The next day at work, Emma's dad notices something strange. The decorative snake that used to be on the roof is now missing. This adds to his growing suspicion. He starts wondering if Emma had something to do with Mrs. Ellis's death too. Could his own daughter be responsible? Later, Emma meets with a psychiatrist for the very first time. But the therapist tells Emma's dad that she seems completely normal, just like any other kid. Unbeknownst to the therapist, Emma had already begun manipulating her with her innocent looks and cleverly twisted words. The following day, Emma's babysitter, Chloe, drops a bombshell. She casually tells Emma that she might soon become her stepmother, as Emma's father seems to like her. This enrages Emma. Furious, she storms off to her father and confronts him, saying, "Chloe says she's going to be my stepmom. Is it true? Do you like her?" At one point, Emma's father tries to question her about something serious, but she doesn't respond at all. She just stays silent. And he quietly walks away. Later that night, we see Chloe sitting alone watching TV. Suddenly, she hears a strange noise coming from the outhouse. Curious and concerned, she steps outside to check, and sees a dark shadow lurking nearby. She thinks it might be Emma, so she follows the shadow, and ends up entering the outhouse. But just as she steps inside, the door slams shut behind her. Now Chloe is trapped. And then, to her horror, a fire breaks out inside the outhouse. From the small window, Chloe looks outside, and what she sees freezes her with shock. Standing there, calm and emotionless, is Emma. Yes, Emma is the one who set the outhouse on fire. And she did it with just one intention: to kill Chloe. Chloe screams for help as the flames engulf the outhouse. But it's too late. She dies, trapped inside the burning structure. When Emma's father and a doctor learn about the fire, they rush to call the firefighters. They arrive quickly and put out the flames. But by then, it's already too late to save Chloe. Later that night, Emma's father walks into her room. He sits beside her, staring into her eyes, and finally asks, "Emma, did you hurt Milo?" They say, a father will do anything to protect his child. But in return, he says to his daughter, "You must tell me the truth." And finally, Emma breaks her silence. She confesses to her father, "Yes, I was the one who pushed Milo. I did it." Shocked, her father presses further and asks about the previous babysitter. Emma coldly admits, "She grabbed my hand when I got angry, so I pushed her down the stairs too." Then comes the question that shakes it all. What about Chloe? At this point, Emma snaps. With pure rage in her eyes, she screams, "She tried to become my stepmother, so I got rid of her too." Now her father knows the horrifying truth. All these incidents, all these deaths, were caused by his own little girl. The realization crushes him. How could his sweet, innocent child commit such terrifying crimes? Emma, trying to sound sincere, assures her father that she'll never do anything like that again. But the damage is done. He's terrified of his own daughter. The next day, the sheriff calls Emma's father and says, "We need to talk to Emma." Panicking, he lies. "She's sick today." In truth, he's scared that the police might uncover everything. To keep her hidden, he takes Emma far away to a lake house. The housekeeper welcomes them, but things aren't calm for long. That very day, the sheriff calls again. He informs Emma's father, the fire wasn't an accident. Someone started it deliberately. Fear grips the father. He even keeps a gun in the house just in case. The thought lingers in his mind. Would I ever need to use it on my own daughter? That night, Emma makes her move. She turns on all the gas knobs, planning her father's death. She seals all the doors and walks out of the house, leaving him to suffocate. But suddenly, he wakes up. Sensing the gas, he rushes to open the windows and doors, saving himself just in time. When he sees Emma standing calmly outside, he realizes the unthinkable. His daughter just tried to kill him. He walks up to her, heartbroken, confused, shattered, and asks just one question. "Why, Emma? Why would you do this?" In a heated argument, she angrily tells her father, "Even if you die, I'll be fine. My aunt is amazing. I'll just go live with her." Her father, deeply disturbed but composed, brings her back home calmly. That night, he secretly laces her hot chocolate with drugs, hoping to make her sleep. But what happens next will shock you. He opens a magazine, only to look up and see Emma standing right in front of him, holding a gun. She aims and pulls the trigger, but the bullet misses him and hits a lamp instead. The sound jolts him awake. He groggily asks, "Why are you still awake?" Emma smirks and replies, "You drugged my hot chocolate, so I switched the cups." That's right, she had outsmarted him. Emma was ready to kill her own father. But before she could fire again, he wrestles the gun out of her hands. Emma quickly runs into the bathroom, locks herself in, and dials 911. She screams over the phone, falsely claiming, "My father is trying to kill me." The house guard hears the gunshot and rushes in. He finds Emma hiding in the bathroom, and her father standing outside the door with a gun. Just when it looks like something terrible might happen, the guard points the gun at her father and pulls the trigger. He takes his life, right in front of his daughter. In the emotional final scene, Emma's aunt arrives to take her home. She lovingly hugs Emma and says, "Your father was a troubled man. He was telling everyone you were the one behind everything." But how could that be true? That one line reveals it all. Emma's aunt still blindly trusts her, completely unaware of the horrifying truth. And with that unsettling twist, the movie ends. Sometimes evil doesn't wear a mask. It wears a smile. The Bad Seed is a psychological thriller that leaves you questioning how much you really know the people around you, even your own child. It shows that evil can be manipulative, calculated, and completely cold-blooded, even when it comes in the form of a little girl. If you enjoyed this twisted story and love movie explanations like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. More shocking stories are on the way. You won't want to miss them.